What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down how to attack a DB's leverage when he's inside shade, okay? So we're going to be talking about kind of like a squirt release, going to be talking about angling your stem and stemming a DB, and we're going to be talking about how to run a goal line fade against an inside shade DB, and why we even want to attack a DB's leverage when he's inside shade and you have an outside breaking route, okay? So I hope this video gives you guys some value. Hope it teaches you a few things about route running. Guys, if you're a receiver and you want to know what receivers need to do in the gym, specifically to get their hands stronger, get their body stronger, get their legs stronger, become more explosive, and become a better route runner, check out that very first link in the description. It's a full 28-day wide receiver gym program. Specific exercises only for wide receivers to do. Hope to get you guys on that soon. Let's get started. So we got to run this speed out right here, okay? So we're looking at this route from Claypool when he was coming out of the draft, working out of the Senior Bowl. So we're going to have this inside shade DB. Now, what's the point of even attacking this DB's leverage, number one? Because he's inside shade. Why wouldn't you just run vertical and then just run it out? Because this guy would be able to get hands. His whole job is to force you towards that sideline. So if we give him a better play, if I just run straight and then break to the sideline, it's very easy for him to get hands on me, force me to the sideline. It's a really tight throw for that quarterback. So what I want to do and what DBs are taught when they're inside shade is if you attack their leverage, you want to aim for their midline and attack them. They're taught to keep their leverage. They're taught to move to the inside of the field and drift off this midline, right? So all that does is that just creates more space for me, right? But we're also going to talk about what if you have an inside breaking route. So let's watch it again full speed. So Claypool does a great job of angling his stem, attacking that DB's midline. And this DB backs up, right? So when we come off the line and we attack right here, right? This DB's got to make one of two decisions. He's either going to stay square and backpedal, or he's going to keep his leverage to the inside. Either way, I think I should win, because again, what does Claypool do at the top? He throws this rocker step, and you see how well he's selling with his upper half, but we're going to talk about that in a second. But when we attack his leverage, fellas, it's either going to get him to backpedal, get him on those heels, and whichever direction I sell with my upper half, that's going to get me some space, right? So now, let's say I were to attack his leverage, and let's say he keeps his leverage to the inside. Okay, fine. I'm going to hit him with that same rocker step that Claypool does. I would still hit him with the same 1-2. This DB would be keeping his leverage to the inside because that's what they're taught to do. Because the whole reason they're inside shade in the first place is to take away an inside breaking route. That's the whole point, right? So like even if he's walked down and press, and we're going to get to that in a second. When he's walked down and press inside shade, his goal is to force you outside. His goal is to force you to the inside. So if I could attack him and square him up, and I could get him to move off this platform, get him to go back to the inside, I create space for myself, and I trust myself that I can get some separation with this move that I do at the top of the route. You see how well Claypool sells this thing, right? Because the whole goal is to move him here, make him think I'm doing an inside breaking route. I sell with my upper half. You keep your toes forward so we can get some explosion. I get some separation, and now I'm here. I got to explode out. I got to widen the distance, and I got to win the race back to the ball, because look at all the space that you just created for yourself. It's like you're giving yourself the advantage when you attack a DB's leverage when you're in this situation, okay? So that's what we got to do. We got to attack him, try to move him off that platform. Let's freeze him, and then let's leave him. Let's go win a race back to the ball. Now, let's say you had to run like a dig or something like that, and you do the same exact thing, and this DB were to keep his leverage to the inside, and you got to run a dig. Well, okay, I would sell like I'm running an out route, right? Because if you attack his leverage, and he keeps drifting to the inside, right? So let's say this DB drifts to the inside here, and we're attacking his leverage. We're trying to square him up. We're trying to make it look like an out route. I do the exact same thing. I would throw my body to the outside, try to make him to hesitate or at least jump to the inside, and then I would accelerate back and try to cross his face and make work to get this ball. But no matter what the type of route is, no matter it's like a 10-yard out, it's a 10-yard dig, post, corners are a little tricky, but kind of the same principle applies. It's a little bit different, obviously, when you get into different route concepts, because obviously this is a one-on-one scenario. When we get to live 11-on-11 scenarios, spacing, of course, matters. So it's a little tricky on certain routes, right? But this scenario, like maybe the outside receiver cut his split down. He's the single receiver. This guy's playing inside leverage off man. That's what this is for, okay? Or maybe you get off man and you're out of the slot, right? And you have some space to work. Spacing is not necessarily important. Maybe it's out of 2x2, and we have like a 10-yard out and a fade concept, right? For our route concept. So that's what this would be for. And so it's the same principles when you got to run a dig. Let's square him up. Let's attack him. Let's give him a move at the top of the route. Let's sell with my upper half, and let's accelerate. Let's try to win that race back to the ball. Okay, this is a great job by Claypool attacking leverage. Just watch it again, full speed, squaring him up, attack that midline, make sure we're closing the distance, selling with my upper half, and accelerating out of the break. So now we're going to be looking at this route here from Ja'Marr Chase. So we're going to be looking at this whip route with this like inside shade DB on the goal line, right? right? So when we attack his leverage, it's called like a squirt release, right? So where you just shoot to the inside. But now you look at what the DB did, right? So this is the scenario I was talking about. What's he coached to do? He's coached to keep his leverage. So you try to square him up and attack his leverage. He's coached, especially on the goal line, not to backpedal on the goal line, right? And he does kind of backpedal, which does screw him over a little bit here in terms of this DB. But DBs make sure we don't backpedal on the goal line. But when we attack his leverage, you see, what does he do? He keeps his leverage, right? This DB is going to keep his leverage. He's going to stay to the inside. He's going to drift here. I'm not going to get beat to the inside. I'm not going to let him square me up and just run a slant, right? Because a lot of people do that. A lot of people will attack leverage and then just go and cross his face, run a drag, whatever it is. That's what this DB wants to prevent right here. So now what I do is I try to square him up. He keeps his leverage on the inside. Okay, I'm running a whip route. I sell. I make sure I take care of this thing. Sell with my hips, sell with my shoulders, sell with my eyes. I get him to the inside. Yeah, he's doing his job. He's taking away the slant. He's taking away anything across his face. But meanwhile, what did he do? He left a whole gap of space to the sideline. So that's what I got to take advantage of, right? So I get him to jump. I drop my hips on his whip route, and now I'm in an explosive position. It's real important, fellas, that when you guys attack the DB's leverage and you get him to move off this platform, you get him to move to the inside, you get into an explosive position with your breaks. Whether it's that rocker step like we just looked at with Claypool, whether it's a whip route like this, whether it's like an out route you're breaking down or whatever it is, but you got to get in an explosive position because now the goal is to what? Win the race back to the ball. I don't win that race if I stand up super tall. If I stand up super high and I try to break and I chop my feet and I beat the drum, I'm going to drift out of there. I'm not going to have any explosion back towards the sideline. So you want to drop your hips, get in an explosive position, almost like a 40-yard dash, where you're in your 40, you start out for that first 10 yards, you're really powerful with your strides, you're driving out, and then you're accelerating. Same idea right now. Let's get in a low explosive position. Let's be in that position to drive me out and shoot me out. And you see how he's here, he's driving off that outside leg, and he's really pumping those arms to win that race back to the ball. And you see, DB's like not the most horrible recovery, but when you got 20 yards to work back to the sideline, really easy for that quarterback to throw you open and for you to accelerate, and that DB has no chance to make a play on that ball. It's a great route by Chase, great job attacking leverage. Same idea maybe if you got to run like a quick out route. Why wouldn't you just go? I mean, it kind of depends where you're at on the field as well. If you got to run a quick out route though, why not just attack his leverage right now? Why not just come off the line fast, try to attack that midline, get him off that platform. I give him a quick move and then I accelerate out of this thing and run towards the sidelines. Watch it again, full speed, attacks his leverage, breaks, drops those hips, and then pumps those arms and drives out of the break. Great route by Chase. Okay, so now we're going to be looking at this route here. Goal line fade, especially on the goal line, fellas. He's inside shade. He's like in this off-man look right here. Why is attacking his leverage important? And we talked about this a little bit in the first clip. Because if we just try to run right there right now, what if we just try to win a race right now to the back corner of the end zone? This DB's going to get hands, going to force me to the outside and wall me out of bounds, right? And that's an impossible throw for the quarterback. You got to understand that we want to make it as easy as possible on those quarterbacks. So when we throw this thing, from a quarterback perspective, when I throw this thing, I want to be able to fade you to the back corner of the end zone. I don't want to just have you right there at the back corner of the end zone. So what I got to do is I got to square this DB up. I got to give him something. So I come off the line, I attack his leverage. You see how we square him up. We get him a little bit flat-footed. He's not going to backpedal on the goal line, and I make that 1-2, right? And again, it's all when you attack leverage, you got to give him something. Okay, we can't just attack leverage and then just go and just try to beat him with speed. We got to give him something. We got to step outside of his frame. We got to sell with my upper half. I got to be able to do something to get this DB off platform, get his feet jumping, try to sell like I'm just attacking his leverage, and then go into a slant right now, trying to cross his face on a drag or whatever it may be. And this route builds off of the last route that we just saw, right? That whip route. So I come up, I attack his leverage, I break to the whip, I try to cross his face, I get him to jump. Now I'm trying to sell with just one step that I'm trying to cross his face. I attack leverage, sell with one step in this direction, get him to move, and now I accelerate out. Now the quarterback, the ball's already out of his hands. He's put into the back corner of the end zone. That's an easy completion for that quarterback, and we make it easy on that quarterback by attacking leverage and creating space. We want to create space to that sideline. Let's watch this thing again full speed right now. Great route. Square him up, throw that 1-2, and then accelerate to the back corner. That's a great route. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope this video gave you some value on just how to structure your routes, how you guys could get more separation, and also if you're a receiver, guys, and you want to get better, you want to get stronger, you want to get better hands, you want to get better route running. A lot of that stuff is all built in the gym. To get explosive, get in and out of breaks with some explosion, make explosive cuts. Check out that very first link in the description. It's a full wide receiver gym workout plan, specific exercises you need to do as a receiver in the gym. And if you guys have any questions at all, leave those in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I'll see you guys next time.